I was trying to help you with some of the read it like Reddits,
Mm-hmm.
and they were all very similar sounding.
That was the first few Reddits I looked at too. I didn't really find any positive Reddits.
I found what are they called? The Cluninators? The
Cluninators, that's what they're called?
Clunatics. Clunatics.
Clunatics, that's a good one.
I
That's a
found a
great
Clunatics. Yeah.
groupie name.
I found a Clunatics subreddit, and there wasn't a whole lot of chatter about the book in general.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking they're taking the stance of if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all.
Yikes. I mean, okay, so I will say our game is read it like Reddit, where we look at Reddit reviews and say, did we read it like they did? Um, but some books they're not on Reddit a lot. So we started looking at Goodreads too. And on Goodreads, I won't spoil what the rating is, but there's a good number of 4 and 5 stars. There's not
It's
that many
highly
one
rated.
stars. Yeah,
It's
it's
highly
pretty
rated.
highly rated. But so I went to Goodreads to find some positive reviews as well as some very detailed, less than positive reviews.
Okay, good.
So, because
We
yeah,
need those.
Reddit was pretty one note.
Pretty sparse.
That's what I found.
Yeah. Okay, well, we have a lot to do and not a lot of time to get it done. So I think we just get right into this bad boy.
Gotta go to bed. Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Wow, last episode of this book.
That last little bit took me for a doozy.
Oh my God. Okay, well, I'll do the intro really quick. Welcome to
Okay.
Bookalicious. This is a podcast where two sisters chat
And
about books you're reading. I'm Chrissy,
I'm Candace.
and today we're finishing Somewhere Beyond the Sea by T.J. Klune. And we've read chapter 12 to the end, plus the
Yep.
epilogue, which is only a few
Yep.
chapters, but the chapters are pretty long. And yeah, as I was writing the summary, it took me so long. So I'm like, oh my gosh, so much happens.
I
And it
know.
just keeps happening.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Do you have your emojis for the emoji game?
Oh, shoot. No, I saw that you sent yours. I don't know. All these books, I just don't even know how to. Here, let me go through yours first. Okay.
All right.
So, Candy, so this is our emoji game. Picture this. Where we send emojis about the book and then you have to guess what the other person meant by it. So Candy sent the emoji with the hand on the chin, the heart eyes, a rocket ship, an explosion. And is that a tombstone?
Tombstone.
I didn't know they had that emoji. Okay, I got some good interpretations for this.
Okay.
So, is I'm guessing everything that had to do with Marblemaw.
Okay.
Okay, are you gonna tell me now if I was right or?
Oh, no, that was just me like having some trepidations about the remaining part of the book. Like,
Oh,
I don't know. I could kind of go either way. I'm not sure yet. That's what I was thinking.
oh, so you started. Okay. Hard eyes, I'm imagining is the family interactions with the kids.
I felt like the book was starting to take off, and it was like in a
Oh,
good way, and I was really enjoying it.
okay, that's great.
Yeah.
But then it took off too much into a spaceship. Is that what I'm reading?
Then it started, yeah, lifting off of the roller coaster rails. We started getting some altitude.
In a good way?
In like okay, this is getting a little crazy, but I'm still on the ride.
What point was that were you at the rocket ship, if you
The
remember?
rocket ship was like when Miss Marblemaw got like locked up in the room. I was
Yes.
like, this
She
is okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so that's a rocket ship, and then there's an explosion. Is that when Zoe reveals herself
That was just like that whole last little bit. What I think
in
what
the city or in the town?
yeah, because normally like when we're in a rocket ship, I can still kind of enjoy it because I'm like, this is so zany and crazy. But this was just like not
What
even
happened?
fun. It was just like we were taking off, and you're like, all right, we're getting zany. And then it just exploded, Death
Yeah.
Star style. And that to me was when they made all of the villains disappear in a poof, never to be seen for the rest of the book.
What? How convenient. Oh my gosh. That whole part, as I was summarizing, I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot that this all happened.
I was like, no way. You just poof them out of existence?
What?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, all of that was wild. Okay. And then Tombstone, are you putting to death any chance of further books in this series?
I that was the end. I said there's no hope now. We'll lay this. I
Oh my
texted
God.
Chrissy. I said, all I can say is this wasn't a rocket ship. This ending went right into a sinkhole, Middle Earth. Like like I felt
We
like we were
covered it
starting
up.
to take off, we were starting to get some momentum, and then we just puttered out, exploded 6 feet under.
It was such a wild series of events that happened.
I felt like there was a lot of opportunity for things to like happen, and it just
Never did.
never did.
The same thing kept happening. That's what happened. Oh my gosh. Uh,
Okay, so do you
okay.
have your emojis?
So I think those are great emojis. I think I'm just going to add on to yours.
Okay.
All right. Maybe I'll add. Okay, I'll just add those three.
Okay. So Chrissy added an icon that all of our Florida girlies and all of our down under girlies in Australia will know the eye of a hurricane, or what do they call them down under? A typhoon,
Oh, they
cyclone.
do?
Yeah,
I thought a
they spin
cyclone
in
was
a
like
different
a
direction.
tornado. What?
Yeah, just like the
I didn't
toilets.
know that. Oh my gosh. That's how it's it's connected. Oh, hurricanes, typhoons, and cyclones. Yeah. Oh, oh wait, and the difference, okay, these are all tropical storms, only difference is where they form.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's
See?
so fascinating. Wow, that's a great fun fact.
Yeah. I don't know if so typhoons are in Northwest Pacific Ocean, usually East Asia. That doesn't sound like Australia.
I thought I saw somewhere that also said Australia. West. This one says typhoons form in the West Pacific and cyclones form south of the equator, off the coast of places such as Australia and Madagascar.
Okay.
That was Australia.
Okay.
So they seem legit.
The Australian Institute of Marine Science says in the southern hemisphere, tropical storms are called cyclones and rotate in a clockwise direction. That's how
Oh.
they go in Florida. Okay.
So, okay.
And in the northern hemisphere, cyclones are called hurricanes or typhoons and rotate in an anti-clockwise. All
Oh, in
right.
the
I
southern
don't,
hemisphere?
that's what they're saying. No, they're saying
Because
southern.
we should have the northern hemisphere. But I guess we're by the equator, so I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's a flip of a coin. I don't know.
Oh
Well,
gosh.
more research is needed
Yeah.
beyond what we can do for this. Okay, so Chrissy's emojis that she sent. Oh yeah, I forgot why I was even talking about that. Is the the,
Classic.
the hurricane or the typhoon symbol
Mm-hmm. Little spiral.
with a little spiral. There's an eye of the storm. I'm imagining this is like when everything's happening with Zoe, and it's just like everyone's just getting lost up in her crazy newfound magic. She's apparently Mother Earth, Moana style.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy. Like this hasn't come up before?
She just remembered. She'd
What?
forgotten.
Oh my gosh.
She had
No, that's
forgotten.
actually not what that's about. But that's a
Oh,
great guess.
okay. What is
This
it?
is about the plot just keeps going around and around in the same circle.
Mm.
I feel like we've been here before.
It did feel like we were circling the drain a little bit.
Yes, the
Could
same
never quite
thing.
get that flush.
Oh. Kept coming back up a little bit more.
Okay, now it's the one raised eyebrow with a line face. I think that's you just being like, TJ, what are you doing?
Yeah, that was a little bit. It's more so what you were saying for the first emoji, where it's like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
What?
What?
What? Like, especially in the town where they like pull up in their black vans. I'm like, what?
Oh my God.
How did they
Oh
all
my
get
God.
here?
That was insane. Okay, and then the last one is the person with the spiral eyes, or maybe the person with the hurricane eyes.
There is some good symmetry here.
Chrissy got so blended up. Now she's the hurricane.
My brain isn't working.
Yeah.
All been blown to shreds.
I think that's just this wild, dizzying end.
The end did feel really dizzying, especially as I was just trying to like speed read through it. And I was like, I can't keep all this in my mind.
There was a lot of page space. I think my general complaint about the book is there's a lot of page space spent describing things and not driving the
Hmm.
plot forward.
Well, there wasn't a lot of plot.
That's what I'm saying.
So I think that's the issue.
Okay, let's just get into it. Let's get into the summary and let's just knock this thing out.
Okay, let's do it. Oh yeah, summary. Okay. So my summary was so long that my phone had have you ever sent a message so long it has a dot dot dot?
Yes.
I was writing it on my phone because I was on the train, doesn't matter.
Oh
But
God.
my message was so long I got the dot dot dot. I was like, oh my gosh. Okie dokie. I think I just summarized the whole thing. It's going to be a long
Yeah,
summary, but
that's fine.
that way we can talk about all of it. Okay, so this is
Yep.
starting in chapter 12. Okay, and basically the spiral thing is what happens every 5 pages is the adults do something, whether it's Arthur, Arthur who like apologizes when he doesn't need to, or is trying to, protect the kids from something, and then the kids come and correct him, and he say, "No, you don't need to do that. We can take care of ourselves. We love you. This is great." Either he's doing something, or more often, Miss Marblemaw, the government inspector, does something, and the kids go and correct her, or what is it, stab her with kindness, and that's their thing. Okay. So basically, it's just a cycle of adults doing silly things and the kids coming to correct them. And that's what it feels like. Okay. So, anyways, but starting in chapter 12, during their pancake breakfast, Arthur apologizes for Marblemaw's behavior, but the kids remind him it's not his fault and he doesn't have to apologize. This is event number one. Arthur says,
I'll keep track.
yeah. Arthur says, "You're right. She should apologize." So after breakfast, he goes over to her cottage to talk with her, only to find that her cottage is empty and Marblemaw is actually on a Zoom call with Janine Router on the beach. Arthur learns that Lucy is their big target and that the government wants to take him so they can use him for their own agenda and use the other kids as leverage to get him to do their bidding. All of this government abuse is bringing up the trauma within Arthur that he never fully reconciled with until later that night he finally breaks and crashes through his bedroom window as a phoenix and into the sky before he falls back into the sea as a man. Frank and the other fish help bring him back to shore where he weeps for himself for the first time. Linus finds him and comforts him, and they have a tender moment on the beach where Linus assures Arthur that he is fit to be a father and how, no matter what other people say, they don't know the real Arthur, who Linus and the kids know. When Arthur and Linus get back to the house, Marblemaw wants answers from Arthur about the crashing through the window and the explosion last night, and she wants an interview with Zoe. But Zoe is tired of her, so Zoe sends her flying into the guest house and locks the door so she'll be taken care of.
Jumanji style.
Oh my gosh. It's crazy. Her like heels are dragging in the ground. It's crazy. Okay. Now with her out of the way, Arthur and Linus now catch the kids and Zoe up on Marblemaw's Zoom call on the beach. Everyone is outraged, but then they band together to fight Marblemaw. The kids come up with a plan to stab her with kindness. But in a reverse Uno card, Marblemaw has decided to do the same thing? Question mark? She sees, so some of the things that happen, she sees Fee make a tree that then hits Marblemaw in the face, and Marblemaw gives her courtesy points. She does the same thing when Theodore leads her on this wild goose chase, gives him courtesy points. This is followed up by Lucy giving her a mustache, which she did not give any courtesy points for. Bummer. So all these antics keep going on with the kids and Marblemaw, but it all culminates when Lucy makes sentient mud people. Arthur quits his government job. Marblemaw is outraged at all of this. And then Zoe comes out of nowhere and says, I'm the sprite of the island and I'm going to banish you forever. So they banish her from the island. So now with Marblemaw defeated, the kids start flourishing even more than they were before. Everything is going wonderfully until the gang decides to go into town for an adventure. The reporters are there, but the townspeople help protect all the kids from all the reporters. So things are going pretty good until a good old-fashioned showdown happens where a bunch of mysterious black cars corner the family and Janine Router and Marblemaw emerge. Janine Router says she's here to take the children, and when Arthur repeatedly declines, she pulls off her Scooby-Doo mask and says, well, aha! What you don't know is that this was all orchestrated by the government. We gave you these kids on purpose to see if the Antichrist could learn from others and what that would look like. Wah ha ha ha. So that was the big reveal. And then the whole gang just says, well, thanks for putting us together. It's been great. Okay. And then Lucy
Okay.
goes up to Janine Router and he opens up about being able to see things. And he says that he sees that Janine Router's dad was attacked by a magical creature and tells her that it's okay if she's mad or sad or anything else. But as he's trying to comfort her, Janine Router attempts to slap Lucy in the face. But before she can do that, he teleports away.
No.
Wow. Arthur and JR have Arthur and Janine Router have another confrontation, but before Janine Router's guys can attack, the townspeople come to their rescue. But what really seals the deal is Zoe again reveals herself as a supreme island sprite and banishes them from the island, and Lucy teleports them away. Great. The family and Zoe then pool their magic together to return Marsyas Island into a peninsula as it used to be when Zoe's people first lived there, and Zoe shows the people their new kingdom. And in the epilogue, Marsyas is thriving with tons of new magical people, and there's a whole press conference where the Prime Minister says that Janine Router has stepped down to spend time with her family and will be replaced by Doreen Blodwell. Who was she Bubblegum Girl or was she married to Larmina?
I believe that's bubblegum.
Okay, I wasn't sure. So yeah, this is Bubblegum Girl. And it turns out that Doreen is a, do you say satyr?
Satyr. She rips off her
Satyr.
wig.
And she has little horns, but they were nubbed off when she was younger.
She's a little nubbins.
Oh my gosh.
Little cloven feet that she keeps in her heels. The little nubbins she keeps under her wig.
Just snapping her bubble gum. Okay, so she does this on like live TV, and to me, it seemed unclear whether the prime minister knew about this ahead of time. Is that the impression you got?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I wasn't entirely
I think
sure.
it was impossible to know at that point.
I forgot who Doreen was. I didn't know anything. Okay, but don't worry, there's still more. So that all happens on live TV, but it's all good. We just move on. So Arthur and Linus were now at their wedding ceremony. All the kids are in the bridal party or in the wedding party. David officiates the wedding. Arthur and Linus exchange vows. David calls them Dad and Papa. They kiss and they all cry, and they're one huge family celebration together. The end.
The end. Wow. That was only like 120 pages.
That
of
was
this 400-page book.
it's crazy because I feel like nothing happened, but then I'm like, so much happened.
It just wasn't, it was just crazy. I read a review somewhere where someone said it sounded like fanfic, and it's like, yeah,
Yes,
it did.
it did. It
It did feel
did.
like fanfic because like I had big hopes for Marblemaw when
Mm-hmm.
she was doing her, subterfuge, incognito, starter villain style briefcase on the beach. She was
Mm-hmm.
having some like questions, like, I don't know if this is right. Are you sure?
Yeah.
It seemed like she was really close to converting, and like I felt like that could have been an opportunity for, Linus and the gang to extend a hand and convert her. But
Right.
instead, they just were like, forget it.
That was my thing. I'm like, what? They're
Yeah,
so
like,
mean.
it- yeah. And it's like they were like, quote unquote, stabbing her with kindness, but it was very clear that they were just being very passive aggressive. They weren't being kind at all. They were actually just being passive aggressive to each other. I mean, both sides.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah.
feel like they could have flipped her and then the story would have ended better.
I felt like there could have been a more plot kind of thing happening. But no, it
Yeah,
was just the evil people are still evil. Good
they get
people are
poofed
still good.
away.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Poofed away. I was like, I've
Never in my life. What ingenuity. That's the part where I felt like it was like Home Alone, where it's like on one level, I'm like, oh, funny. But also, I'm like, this poor woman, like where the cat was scratching her face. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So this
know.
is too much.
And it was kind of one of those things where it's like I wrote somewhere. Oh, yeah, it's like when they were going into their antics, I was like, this just feels too intense to do to someone.
Yeah.
And it's like, even though she's on the bad side and she had bad intentions going there. Oh, this is what I wrote on 312. They're doing all these things. And I said, she's finally getting the ammunition that she needed. Like, you guys are
Oh, to
proving her
close him
right.
down.
Yeah. I'm like, you
I
guys are just proving her right. That's
I
all you're
didn't,
doing.
yeah. Okay, I was kind of confused on what the kids' plan was because the kids are like, we have a great plan. And they said, we're gonna stab her with kindness. But they also were like, she thinks we're scary. It's like, well, let's do that. Let's scare her. So I wasn't really entirely sure what their plan was. Was it to show her what they could do? Because you're right, it seemed like they were just proving her point of like they need some more eyes on them. Lucy gave life to mud people.
It was kind of crazy because I was almost on Miss Marblemaw's side on some of these
I
things. And I
know.
was
Yeah.
like, how did
You're like,
this
who am I?
happen? Well, so
Right?
on page 320, one of them, probably Fee, is Talia. She made all these like pollen plants.
Oh my gosh.
And
Yes.
Miss Marblemaw said, I'm allergic. It's a very serious issue that should not be made light of. And I was like, I agree. Like,
Thank you. Yes, this book is really coming for me on all
yeah,
fronts.
I was like, don't just cover someone in allergens. Like,
Like, that's rude.
that's rude. Yeah. I was like, this is terrible. And then what sent me over the edge is Chauncey, I guess, scream sneezed quite spectacularly, and
Oh
Miss
my
Marblemaw was
gosh.
coated from head to toe in his weird dripping black ink.
I know. When you mentioned something in the last part, I was like, she doesn't even know what's coming for her.
I wrote, I would throw up. Like, I was covered in someone's excrement like that. I would
Oh
throw
my
up.
gosh. And everyone's like, ha
Yeah, I'm like, this
ha.
is like, no.
I know. Oh my gosh, all of that.
So I really don't understand the strategy. It to me it really just kind of felt like TJ was just having a ball, just imagining, like, when you have like your shower arguments where you're like, this is what I would
Yes.
say, and I would
And it goes
destroy them, and I would do this, and
perfectly.
I would do that. It goes perfect. That's what I felt like he was doing. And I was like,
Yes. I'm a little uncomfortable.
well, and it's like Miss Marble Mall's not even like she's not the big
The
bad.
big bad.
It's Janine Router.
Yeah.
It's like she's just a minion. She's just getting her paycheck, following orders, and she
I
was having
know.
remorse.
She was a little bit, but and like maybe it's like, well, if she had actually been remorseful, then like the family would have been there to be like, yeah, we'll help you. What's your name? Marblemaw. Like you can join us. We're great. You're always welcome. But I guess she didn't, and that's why it didn't happen. But like it didn't seem like they were overly trying to help her. I don't know. Maybe they did.
I mean, I also can understand. I mean, maybe the flip side of the argument is that the orphans, they've been doing the right thing this whole frickin' time.
That's true.
And so
Yeah.
it's like, how many olive branches do you need to be extending before you just say, forget it?
Yeah. I think that is what's happening here. And so I listened to an interview with TJ Klune and someone else, I forget who.
Ooh.
It's the one I sent you if you also want to listen to it. But
Oh, I think I started listening to it, but I didn't finish it.
yeah, that's okay. But I feel like I remember him saying this, whereas like in the first book, Linus came and he was a government worker and his mind changed. I think he just didn't want to do the same thing again, which he could have avoided
If
by
you
not
wrote,
having the government plot at all.
you
Yeah, if
could
you
have
had written
avoided
them
that
on vacation.
if he had written a different book.
Yeah, there would have been an easy solution. I know. But no, I think we're just feeling a lot of similar things as what we felt with lessons in chemistry. Because that also felt like this is like my dream world of like everything goes right for this, or I guess everything went wrong for her, honestly. But then
Yeah.
everything magically works out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it kind of felt like that a little bit.
Well, even like with lessons in chemistry, it's like I agreed with most of what Bonnie Garmus had to say. I
Yeah.
agreed. But it was just like, I don't need to be clubbed over the head by it.
Yes. I know. I think that's just the thing. It's like when your message is just too heavy-handed, even if you 100% agree with it, it gets really old to read it after a while, you know?
Well,
That's my thought.
yeah, I think it's because it's so repetitive, but it's also like with these villains, they're so one note. There was no redemption arc. They try to make like a
No.
little thing at the very end for Janine Router, which is like that doesn't even make any sense, and it's like too late. And then they just get poofed away, never to be seen of again.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I was confused. It seemed like there was like five different plots going on too. That also didn't super make sense, where it's like they had this plot to take Lucy so then they could control Lucy and so that they could control the world. And I was like, oh, okay. But then that never really went anywhere. And then one of her big reveals at the end was that this was all an experiment to see what would happen to Lucy. And you're like, what? And then they just poof away. So it just seemed unclear what I think what you're talking about last time with the motivation, where it's like, I don't know what anyone's motivation is really here. Are
Yeah.
they
Do you mean
scared
the
of the
last episode or
kids?
the last book?
Oh, the last episode.
Yeah, the last episode. I mean, because I had the same problem with the other book where it was Charles Werner. And I'm like, why are you so obsessed with Arthur? We never found
Hmm.
out. We almost found out in the first like 5 pages of this book. I was
Yeah, you're
really excited.
right.
And then we never see him again.
I know. Yeah, I still have to guess what
Still
happened.
have to guess. Yeah. I mean, there was one thing on page 279 this made me laugh. So all the kids are eating breakfast or something, but they're eating it like sloppily, I guess, to bother
Oh,
Miss
uh-huh.
Marblemaw. And this is what TJ writes. And what followed shan't be described here. Suffice to say, and then he goes on for like a paragraph to describe exactly what happened. But I was like, that's TJ's editor trying to cut this down. I mean, like, TJ, you need to see.
He said, but they're all important.
They're all important. There was just like so many of like those types of scenes where you're like, okay, I get it. We've seen them eat breakfast a million times. They have a great
Yes.
time. It's very cute, but like, give me more details on Marblemaw. Tell me like what she's thinking.
Give them some dimension.
Give them some dimension. Yeah. I
I
don't know.
agree. I agree with all of that. Yeah, there were some funny parts though, where I was like, TJ, he's a really funny writer.
He
Like
is.
there's this one line that I pulled out where all the kids are they're just talking about things and David's like, "Oh, could I, maybe I could I visit B and Jason sometimes?" They're like, "Yeah, whenever you want. Like we can make a whole trip of it, the whole family." Or he's like, "Yeah, we can make a whole trip of it. Me and Arthur will take you to the city." And then David's like, "Can the other kids come?" And it says, Linus paled. Yes, sure. Why not? It's not as if I have nightmares about all of you riding a city bus. Linus cracks me up. I think he's so funny.
Yes. Okay, so something else that felt weird is that Marblemaw, her big thing for this second arc, to the quote, her kill it of kindness, she really wanted Talia to cut her beard off.
Yeah.
That was what she was hung up on.
Yeah.
And I was
Mm,
like, why?
Is that TJ trying to get at like transgender things? Of like
I
it doesn't
think I
fit
think
her.
so. She doesn't fit like the female stereotype, so it's like
Yeah.
I've heard a term before. Is it called gender bender?
Oh, I've heard of something like that.
And the idea is that it's like, okay, so gender bender, a person who dresses or acts in a way that challenges gender norms, often in a way that is considered the opposite sex. So there's like a lot of musicians that they have who do that, like David Bowie, some
Bowie?
X-Files, Futurama. Anyway,
Okay.
so maybe a antiquated term would be like cross-dressing would
Mm-hmm.
be like an antiquated type of term. But just the idea that it's like, okay, like society says dresses are for girls, but like why not? I'm a guy, I'll wear a dress, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe Talia represents like that gender bender stereotype of she's a girl, but she has a beard and she wears overalls and plays in dirt.
Yeah, I feel like that's what it was getting at, but also I think it feels a little strange because it's like she was born with a beard, and it's I think all the or no, is she the
Gnomes.
only female gnome? Wasn't that something in the last book?
I feel
I
like
think
she's
she
one
was
of the
rare.
okay. Now I'm looking at Reddit and they're saying that gender bender might be an offensive term. Okay, I don't know the right term, but that concept. I don't want anyone to be mad.
Yeah, that's, I don't know the right term either. I
I'm looking it
yeah, I'm
up. It's
sorry if we
not,
use
it's
it.
not, yeah, it's not immediately clear to me. If there's a more proper term, please let me know. I'll be happy to change my verbiage. But okay, yeah, Fee, I think they're all like the last one of existence, is my take on it.
Right. You had mentioned your concerns in the last episode
Uh,
about that.
I know they could just wait this thing out, but no.
Oh my gosh.
No. But I guess Talia is like 400 years old, so maybe they can't wait it out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So maybe they live a long time.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that just felt like a weird thing. Like that's she's gonna do this second arc, and the only thing she's gonna worry about is like trying to get Talia's beard. Like, why aren't you trying to capture Lucy?
Yeah, you're right. I thought that was her whole mission.
Why aren't you trying to like write up a nasty report and publish it about all the crazy things that they're doing?
I know. Yeah, I think maybe that was TJ's point where it's like sometimes I think in his view, like you meet people and they're so stuck up on this one thing. Like, why are you wearing pink? You shouldn't wear pink. And it's like, who even cares? Like, it doesn't matter.
I mean, I
And so I
guess that's
wonder if
true.
I think he's maybe trying to paint that, but it's just like she was just one bland thing after another
Yes.
that we really could have
Yes.
used something else.
It really was Scooby-Doo villain, blah. Okay.
This one I think is the most Scooby-Doo villain. Okay, which one's more Scooby-Doo? This book or The Housemaid?
this one.
I think so too. The housemaid made a lot more sense.
And that's
Which
like
is crazy.
wild. That's
I never
wild.
thought I would say something like that.
We had to create a whole secondary like supplementary novel to make that book make sense.
And we couldn't even do that with this one.
We couldn't. There's no way.
How do these pieces connect?
I know. When Zoe was like, "Hey guys, I'm actually like a diva and I'm a queen and I'm gonna do all this stuff." You know what I was imagining?
What?
I was imagining the fairy godmother from Shrek. And I was imagining her as like a gay icon singing and dancing and like
Oh my
leading
gosh.
leading leading the whole community to their new safe haven. And I kind of liked that imagery of like
I
just a
do like
singing,
that.
dancing gay icon bringing up this peninsula and like making a safe haven for all of her people.
That's how this needs to be done.
That's
Oh my
kind of the
gosh.
only thing that I liked about it though.
Yeah, there is. I thought that was cool, but the descriptions for that all felt too long. Like at that point, I was like, this book, it needs to end. But he was
I
still going.
know.
Okay, I will say though, on the note of movies, despite my thoughts on the book, I feel like this can make a really good movie.
It has, that's what I'm saying. It has like a lot of pieces. It has
Yeah.
like a lot of good elements. Just not a lot of it was executed very well.
No, but I think with a movie, you cut out a lot of things. You don't get
Yep.
all the inner dialogue, probably don't get a lot of the external dialogue either. You
Yeah.
can make a montage of these scenes so you know they're
Yes.
happening, but you don't have to sit through all of them.
Yes.
The visual stuff in here I think would be so cool. The
Yes.
characters are so hilarious. And like for a certain movie, you're expecting a Scooby-Doo type of villain. So that's
Yeah.
all good. And then you can just pick one of the plots he was going with and just make that the plot. And I
I
think that
agree.
would really fix things.
Well, and I'm like really disappointed that Marblemaw wasn't a phoenix or
Magical?
anything. I felt like he was giving like a lot of like trails. To me, it felt like he was leading up to something. It felt like there was a lot of foreshadowing.
I really like that. Actually, a comment mentioned that too. I don't know if you saw that. I think it was on Goodreads, but someone else had mentioned the same thing where they're like, I felt like there was all this foreshadowing for Marble Maw and then nothing. And I agree. That would
Nothing.
have been a cool turn.
Yeah, like she had been Phoenix or something, and she's been beaten into submission by the government and hiding for so long. But then she realizes that, oh, these are actually my people, and what I've been doing to try to fit in is not right. Like that could have been a really interesting story.
Yeah, I think so because it would have been different from Linus still because she's
Yeah,
magical.
right, exactly. And she's like closeted type of person now coming out and being herself, and there could have been opportunity there.
I agree. I think that would have been a great idea. I also even thought that Janine Router was going to be magical, especially at the end
Yeah.
where she just appears out of nowhere. I was like, she's magical, and maybe she wanted to start her own magical army with Lucy. Could have made
Right.
sense.
I almost could have seen that, whereas like she wanted to quote unquote rot the beast from the inside type of thing, but then
Hmm.
she lost the plot halfway through.
Oh, yeah, that could have been interesting.
But it just felt like there could be no redeeming qualities for any of like the villains. And like he
I
tried to like
know.
throw a bone for her at the very end there, but it was like that's feels forced and random and way too late.
Wait, which bone are you talking about?
For Janine Router when he was like, I know like your dad got murdered by a magical person, like
Oh,
whoopsies,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah. That all of that was just crazy. And then she had like no emotional response to that whatsoever. I was like, I'm okay.
And did they ever scare Marblemaw? I feel like they never scared her.
Was she
I feel
scared
like
with the mud
TJ,
people? I don't know about scared.
I
She
feel
was
like she
definitely
got
upset.
annoyed.
Yeah, I was like, same. Okay, what I thought was ridiculous too was so when they're banishing her from the island, they're like, all right, Marblemaw, we packed all your bags. Here's all your suitcases. We made this salt road so you can walk back to the mainland and take your taxi out of here.
Oh
They're
my
like,
God.
I was trying to find the line. I couldn't find it, but I think it was a 2 mile long road. And she had 45 minutes to get out of there. Otherwise, the road was going to disappear and then she'd have to swim back. I was like, okay, the average walking pace is like 20-minute mile. And she
Yeah.
has suitcases and she's probably like injured from all of these antics. And you're giving her 45 minutes to walk 2 miles, otherwise she dies. I'm like, oh my
Oh my
gosh.
God.
Like, geez.
Oh my God. Okay, so different note, but on 349, Lucy is bringing up the Bible again, and I wanted to know your
Oh,
opinion
oh, you
about
already know about burning the
about
Bibles.
no, oh no. This one I was like,
Oh.
Lucy, I have to agree with you here. Um, about Lot's daughter wanting to have a kid of her own, so she got her father drunk.
Yeah.
Do you remember this story?
Yeah. It's a crazy story.
I was like, that is a weird story.
There's a lot of weird stories in the Bible. That's
Well,
a fact.
there was somewhere where they're basically like, I can't remember exactly, but I think it was something to the effect of like, we need to have Bibles in all of the schools. And then they were like, I don't think Bibles are age appropriate. And I was like, honestly, I agree. Like, if you're gonna ban books for smaller things, if you have like things like
Questionable.
Lot's daughter having trying to make a baby with her dad while he's asleep. I mean, that's wrong on so many levels. I don't know that that's age appropriate, you know?
That's true. I mean, I agree that like there's a lot of crazy stories in the Bible. I could see where you'd make the argument. I think something though, it's like the intention isn't saying that this is a good thing. Like nowhere in the Bible does it say like, and that was a great thing she did. Like I think
Sure.
there's
I think
like
there's a lot
punishment
of,
after.
which I agree, but I think a lot of banned books are the same, where they're like, this isn't great, but it has like Flowers for Algernon. I don't
That
think
band?
anyone's,
Oh,
yeah. It's one of
oh,
like the
what's?
banned books. Yeah.
It's because of the sex scenes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like there is like this unequal level where it's like, oh yeah, the Bible's totally fine. Where it's like maybe you could do excerpts. Maybe you could do
I had a
like,
children's Bible.
yeah, have like a scrubbed version. Sure, why not? A G rated. But to say
Yeah.
that like, yeah, the Bible in its entirety is totally appropriate for kids, but then these other books aren't, to me, it feels like double-sided. So I did agree with Lucy
Hmm,
there because
yeah, that's interesting.
That Lot story is wild.
It really is. I know. I did think that was funny. Like I did think that was funny. And you know, he's right. There are crazy stories in the Bible. The burning part though was the section right after. So it's on the same page
Oh, yeah.
because
Mhm.
he yeah, so Lucy's saying all that, and then Linus covers his mouth and he says, I think that's quite enough. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but we might need to consider removing all Bibles from the island. Too many things in its pages children should not have access to. Lucy's
Well,
eyes filled with red as he pulled his head away. We could have a good old fashioned book burning. Something to consider, Linus agreed.
Linus is just like, be quiet.
I think that is the right like Linus isn't even listening to him and he's like, yeah, yeah, sure, whatever. But I was like, I see this is where I'm like, Lucy can say crazy things, he's the Antichrist, sure. But my issue is all the adults agree with it.
I don't think Linus is agreeing with it because he's like something to consider, but we'll talk about it at home. For now, let's focus on the light has
Something to
changed.
consider. Linus agreed. That was the verb DJ chose was agreed.
I just take that as like Linus just being like, you guys are crazy. He's gonna forget about this in a minute. You know,
I
like,
know the second time I read it, yes. The first time I read it, I was already like, ugh.
yeah, just
I
another kid.
know. They're gonna burn the Bibles now.
Look, I don't think it's a good idea to ban books. I don't think it's a good idea to burn books. Let's not burn any books. Let's not ban them either.
Oh man.
I did think it was weird because all the other kids are really orphans, except
Lucy.
for Lucy.
Interesting. That is an interesting point.
And on 368, he says, I can send them, I think he's punishing someone. I can send them to meet my real dad. And I'm already like, okay, rude. But then I was like, why did his dad abandon him?
That's a great point.
Because now he
Yeah.
calls Arthur like his dad. And at first it was like Arthur was his steward. Okay,
Mm.
fine. Your dad's the devil. He can't raise you. Fine. But it's like, I feel that you would still consider him your dad and Arthur like a steward. But now he's calling Arthur his dad. It's
And
strange.
Linus doesn't seem, or sorry, Lucy doesn't seem at all
Upset,
like abandoned. Yeah,
conflicted.
or yeah. Like he's like, oh, that's just how it is. Doesn't miss his dad, but maybe he wouldn't be a good dad. Fair. I
That
mean,
could have been something we could have explored. That would have been interesting.
no time. No
No
time.
time.
We had to have breakfast. Five
Oh,
times.
I was just gonna say we have to describe pancakes.
Pancakes. Oh my gosh. I do always want pancakes though when I read this book. I'm like, oh, that sounds so good.
I know it does sound good. I thought it was weird that their escape from the evil government was to connect their island to the mainland. I thought their island would rise up into the sky and like you needed to be magical to get there.
Oh, whoa. But then that would be like separating yourselves, and they want to be inclusive to anybody except Janine Router.
Well, I mean, okay, in their defense, Janine Router really hates their stinking guts.
She does. She does. I agree.
She, I wouldn't let her in either. I also
But
thought, oh,
yeah. Oh no, just about the island. Yeah, I don't know. So now I think the whole purpose though was they needed a mega island because they're going to invite anybody who needs a home to live here now.
yeah. I mean, the island could have gotten bigger without connecting to the mainland.
I don't know. But I think also they were like all the mainland people were protecting them and they're like, they're our family too.
We're gonna let you in.
Yeah, yeah, you guys pass the test. You can be connected to our island.
Yeah. And it kind of seems like they just went full on. Actually, we're stronger and magical. And like, why were we ever listening to you to begin with?
Yeah, it does sound like that.
Which
You're
is
like, oh
kind of
yeah,
like the
you're
yeah,
right.
duh. It's also confusing though, because you're like, how did because you can understand how animals will go extinct, right? Because humans, big brains, trap them, whatever. Magical people, sounds like they have big brains too. Like, and
Yeah.
they have superpowers. So, how are they getting annihilated by these people?
Well, okay, so we hear about Zoe's backstory. Is that the one you're thinking of? Or just like in
All of
general?
them. The wyverns, all of them.
I don't know. That's a great question. Well, I mean, the Yetis, David's parents, they got killed by humans.
I thought they got killed by global warming. That was my take on that. It's like they need like the ice age, like, okay, environmental
No.
factors, they're out. Got that.
No, they were killed by humans, I'm pretty sure. Because that was they actually explained it because the
Oh,
mom
they
was
got
like,
hunted.
"Run." Yeah, yeah. Like that was her last words to him or something. And then Zoe's people,
They seem the
there was
strongest. They seem like they
I
can do anything.
how did that happen? Because that's a I don't really know how that happened. But it sounded
This is
like the
gonna
people came
be,
in with like guns and killed them.
I was gonna say, this is gonna be really offensive, but maybe it was like smallpox, like disease, like,
Disease.
like straight up like European
Mm.
settlers coming in.
Sounded more violent from Zoe's
Yeah.
story, but maybe.
Yeah. Just going in, wiping them out. it just, to me, that just doesn't make sense because it seems like they should have all of the cards. And it's like, how can you just make an island appear?
And banish people from islands,
Banish people from islands,
but not win the war?
but not win the war. Or at least not protect your little island with all your people in it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really remember her story. I would need to go back because I don't know if they address that. But I mean, I think that's a great question of where are all these people going?
There was also something really crazy, and maybe this was the whole point of it on 384. Router is saying, uh, she's talking about the magical people to the humans. They're going to come after your children, indoctrinate them into thinking being magical is normal. It's anything but, it's a choice. And maybe that's TJ's point is that it's like, it's so obviously not a choice, but like here she is, like saying, oh, yeah, David could decide to not be a Yeti.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the point, is that it's so ridiculous that it's like, you're an idiot.
I think that is probably what he's trying to say. But are you saying like this doesn't seem like the same type of argument? Or like,
That it doesn't feel like that. That doesn't make
yeah,
any sense.
I also agree. But I
Like,
think you're right. I think that's what he's going for.
yeah,
But yeah, it felt, I don't know, it just feels different. I don't know if this is the analogy I would use.
it, I don't know. Yeah, the book just felt like it was falling apart towards the end here. And even though
There's
it got like
mhm.
this really happy ending, I don't feel like it was deserved.
I I felt like when they in the epilogue when they're on their new island, it felt like it was an amusement park or something. And Arthur is just
Yeah.
waltzing around with his top hat and is like, "Howdy, everybody! Welcome to my land.
Oh my
We have a
God.
therapist."
Oh my God. Yeah, we have everything you need. I know.
Yeah, you're like, "What?"
Okay. I
Um,
was disappointed that it turned out that they have all that stuff. They have all their scuba gear. Not
oh,
because
uh-huh.
they just make it appear, but because he's apparently a Wall Street investor on top
Wait,
of everything else.
yeah, I don't remember that. What happened?
He he got some crazy amount of money from the government for blood money, black, whatever.
Oh,
And then he like started investing it. And now he has so much money, he can just buy these kids whatever they want. And I'm like, what?
convenient.
Yeah. I would have preferred if they were just magicking it into
Yeah.
existence.
Honestly, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
They're sending away for it? What? I don't know.
Yeah.
I felt like everything in here is just like, convenient. Lucy can
Y-
teleport now.
Yeah.
Convenient. Zoe can make islands appear.
Uh,
Sure. Also,
uh,
I just kind of breezed through her story right now. I don't think it really explains why all of her people died. She says it was horrific. She's like, I'm never going to concern myself with humanity again. But it does leave the big question of how did that even happen? But
I
maybe
know.
only the queen is that powerful, you know? Maybe all the other sprites aren't as powerful. Because, like, if they were to go against Fee, she wouldn't be able to. Maybe she could,
I would just
but
think that, like, sure, they're not as powerful, but they're way more powerful than a person, a human.
so you'd think. I mean, that's a great point.
Maybe they were just like super trusting and nice, and then they got
That could have been it. They welcomed them onto the
poisoned.
land. Yeah, they got like
Yeah.
ambushed or something.
I mean, I guess I could see something like that.
Yeah. But it leaves a lot of questions. I think
Yeah.
you're exactly right.
Yeah. Ugh. Okay. Did you have any more
You know,
thoughts?
I really didn't have any things written down from this section other than what we already talked about a lot of things. Yeah, I think we've talked about everything.
Yeah. And when I mean that the ending didn't feel deserved, it just felt like everything just kind of fell into their lap.
Felt. Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, well, then why didn't you do this from the beginning? If you could have
Yeah.
done this, like, why are we waiting till now?
Why did we go through all this?
Yeah, exactly. It kind of made like the whole, yeah, it made like the whole journey like not make any sense. And then it's like it started off with Arthur and his trial, and he's trying to like win hearts and like convince people. And then it's like the one person he could win a heart and convince someone, Marblemaw, they run right off the island.
And that's it, I guess.
And that's it. And then it's like now they have like their new safe haven. So I guess like that's nice. It's a nice concept, but it's just it didn't feel deserved.
Yeah, it felt like there was no growth,
Yeah,
I think. For like basically anyone. Arthur
right.
learned a few lessons, but like that was it. So yeah, I think just like one note is kind of a
Yeah.
little flat.
Yeah. It could have been at least 150 pages shorter. If it
I
was
think so.
shorter, I think it wouldn't have felt so much. It wouldn't have dragged so much.
Yeah, I agree. We could have cut out some breakfasts, could have cut out one or two antics.
Yeah.
Probably the whole I love the sailboat adventure. I don't know, but
That
was
didn't
it?
add anything to the
It
story.
didn't. It didn't. It was just fun to read about them, but it felt kind of like weren't we talking about this with Agatha Christie where the books used to come out like one chapter at a time or
Oh,
something? And then
yes.
like you're okay reading meandering a little bit because you're like, oh, well, I
Yeah.
have all week and this is my only entertainment.
Yes.
But that's not the case in this century.
No, no. Yeah. Yeah. I would say so at least 150 pages too long. So that would be like what, 30%?
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe even more.
How much was it? 450? It was
I think it
400.
was 400 pages.
Yeah, 400 exactly.
Yeah. So 150 divided by 400. 38%. That's a lot.
Wow, that is a lot.
That's a
But
lot.
I kind of agree with you.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So my overall take is that I feel like there's a lot of pieces, there's a lot of things here. This to me is not finished. It should have
Yeah,
a lot of loose ends, haphazard ending.
yeah. Haphazard middle.
Haphazard middle. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of things I really liked. The characters, I think all the characters are great on their own. Maybe not the villains, they could use some work. But
Villains could
the
use some
kids are
work.
great. I think the kids are great.
Kids, great. Love them. Love the family. Love being on the island. Love all of those
Yeah.
things. And those are the pieces where it's like you see it. You can see it like
Yeah.
it's almost there, but it just doesn't, there's no payoff.
Yeah, for me it wasn't coming together.
No. Mm-mm.
Mm. Before we
Okay.
get to the
Oh,
ratings, there
yeah.
was something that came up on the interview, and I was like, I think this is part of what was rubbing me the wrong way the whole book. So I wanted to know
Oh.
what your thoughts were. And we've kind of touched on it already, but it was interesting to hear him say it. So he was talking about like why he wrote this book and stuff. And one of the things was that he was just talking to a kid and basically he just loved how the kids saw the world. And he was like, kids get it. They get accepting other people. They get all these things. Like, we need to be more like kids. Um, and then he was also saying about like how we're making all these decisions about kids, but we're not asking the kids what they want
Mm.
when we should. And he was like, you know, kids know a lot more than we think they do. They're really perceptive. They know a lot about, what they want and stuff. It's like we need to listen to the kids more.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, do you want to share your thoughts first, or would you like to hear my thoughts?
My first thought was that that would explain why he let David make all those choices and the
I
kids make,
know.
he's trying to like lean into, but I was like, some of these choices are, whoa.
Yes, I know. I think that's what it was. He was like, look at all the wisdom the kids have. They solved the whole book. But I was like, where are the parents? I don't know. Like I think that's true. Like you can learn a lot from kids, but I'm like, but also we don't trust kids with a lot of lifelong decisions.
Yeah.
I think for good reason
What were your thoughts?
on that like idea or like with
Well,
the book.
on the comment, because it sounded like you had some opinions before I
Well,
interrupted.
oh, okay. Well, no. Mainly those opinions of like, I think it is good to ask children, what they want and to hear from them and to listen to them. But at the end of the day, like the adults should know better or at least have more wisdom they're bringing to the situation. And I think
Hmm.
there are instances where you work with kids to, reach a agreement or like a decision. But there's also times where you're like, you pull the adult card and you're like, no, you're not going to eat ice cream for dinner.
Yeah.
Bad
Yeah.
idea, you know?
I agree with that. I think there is something though where if you're never giving a child an opportunity to solve problems or
Yeah.
even like try to solve problems and make mistakes, and like you as the parent are always trying to guide them to make sure that like they don't make any missteps, that's kind of a disservice to the kid because then
No, it's totally true.
they have to go make decisions at some point and now they're either unable or they make a lot of bad ones, and usually as you get older the stakes get higher,
Yeah.
so you want to make your mistakes earlier on.
Right. No, I
So
totally agree with that. I think that's a great point.
yeah.
So yeah, no, I agree with that. I think though it's like it felt like it was with lifelong decision like decisions that already have big stakes. It's like
Yeah.
we should let any kid take that. I'm like, oh, I don't know. But I think that's interesting too to think about childhood. It's like we think of it just as two categories. It's like either you're a kid or you're an adult. But like
Hmm.
Sal in here, he's like, I'm 15. Like I'm really not a kid. And so
Yeah.
there is kind of like this continuum where it's like you're saying, like as you get older, you should be getting more responsibility and like more ability to make
Yeah.
choices. That's a great
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, and I mean there's definitely like certain choices that kids can make and it can have lifelong impacts, and sometimes like it feels like a small choice but you don't even realize, like maybe they decide to pick
That's
up a
true.
sport. Maybe it's a positive one. They decide to do a sport just randomly and then they end up being amazing at it.
Yeah. Yeah,
And that
that's true.
turned into a lifelong decision they didn't even know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, sometimes like you do like sometimes kids are making choices or preferences or whatever it is, and it does impact their life long term. And it's like you can't always know what's going to happen. Um, when it comes to transgendered people, my personal take on it, and this is for me for anything, is that if it's between you and your doctor, it's like it really has nothing to do with me. You, your doctor, the parent, the family, like it's really not my business. So
Mm,
that's how I feel about like a lot of different things. So but I can understand where there might be some concerns where you're like you're taking certain procedures or whatever it is, and those do have like lifelong impacts and XYZ, but at the end of the day, I don't
yeah.
think it's any of my business. But yeah, so that is interesting. What else did he say in the interview?
He said a lot of things. He said that didn't he didn't think he was going to write a sequel to The House on the Cerulean Sea, but then he felt like he needed to just with everything going on. And that's where it kind of felt like, and what I also saw in some of the like Goodreads comments is like it felt like he had a message first and he's like, let me make a story so I can tell this message. And that's how it felt. Like the message was very prominent, got that
Yes.
really clear, but the plot and the story was like, that's how it felt. And it kind of felt like that's how the book came to be too. He didn't
Yeah.
necessarily have a story first. It was more of the message.
Well, you know what? His message was the most clear and it was the tightest and it was
It
the
sure was. Very consistent.
yeah, that 100% flying colors.
Nailed it. Yeah.
Nailed it. That could have been an essay, you know?
A little bit. That could have been good. Oh, but he did say something exciting on the note of books. he is thinking about writing. I don't know if it's a children's book or if it's just another series or something, starring guess who?
I already know it. I saw it on
Oh
a
my gosh.
saw it on a
Where did
review.
you see it?
I
On a
think on the
review?
Clunatics.
They know.
They
They
know.
know. Okay, yeah, he wants to write a series about Chauncey.
Oh, I thought it was Lucy.
What? No way. Well, I mean, potentially both, but on this interview, he was talking about Chauncey, and he would be a little bellhop, and he's going to solve non-essential mysteries, like who
Oh my
stole the
God.
cutlery.
I okay, I would read that.
Chauncey, I love Chauncey. He's
That's what
great.
I want to read about. That's a
I
story that can have a
know.
meandering plot that doesn't make any sense, and I'm like here for it.
Yes, I agree. I
You know?
want
Just
the
don't
only
beat me over
message
the
to be
head.
Chauncey's great.
I was gonna say, don't beat me over the head with like how to have proper etiquette though, but then, you know.
Can never be too sure.
I know. Whew. Okay, so are we doing these ratings?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Okie dokie. So, message or theme?
I liked the message. I liked the theme. I just felt like it was too much. So I'm gonna go with a 4.
Okay. That's interesting because I was thinking about the too much thing, putting that in the miscellaneous category.
He's gonna get docked a few times from me for that. So this is the first.
I'm between 3.5 and a 4. Because also there's some things where I'm like the kid thing, I'm like, it's
Yeah.
like the parents should be there helping them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and just because TJ wrote it doesn't mean that it's true. It doesn't mean that it's right. It just means that this
Right.
is his opinion. And it's very much like his opinion because this is a very
Opinionated
opinion
piece.
piece. Yeah.
No, that's true. That's true. But still, just as far as themes go, I'm like, don't love that theme. I'll put 3.75.
Okay.
Okay, writing style.
I'm gonna go 4 because again, I really like his writing style. When he hits great, but 38% too long, that's bad. That's too much.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I was thinking 4.5 because I do really like the way he writes.
He's a great writer. I
I
mean,
don't know
don't
where
let me
to.
influence you. Give it 4.5.
Ugh. I think I will because I think I'm just going to put all the meandering into the miscellaneous category.
Okay.
Okay, character depth.
3, 2.5. I'm gonna go
Which
with
one do you
3.
think?
I'm going
Yeah,
with 3.
I was kind of thinking 3 too, but honestly, I mean, what depth was there?
I mean, I think like with the kids and stuff, it's like I think that what's his face? David, he had a lot of depth, like him finding his way and his family, and I feel like as like a family, Arthur and Linus, I feel like it's at least a 3.
Yeah,
Because
okay, I could see
5 would
that.
be like a lot of depth. 1 would be no depth.
Well, the issue though was that some characters had no depth, and they were pretty
Some
major
did have no.
characters.
That's true. That's why I know. That's kind of why I was like maybe 2.5. I know.
I know. I know. Character depth. That was something that bothered me was that they didn't have character depth, so I'm gonna go 2.75.
All right.
Okay, lands the plane.
1.
Whoa, a one.
I did.
Follow your heart.
I really, not that I didn't like that they ended up where they ended up. I liked where they ended up. I liked where the ending landed, but it was a plane crash getting there.
Mm-hmm. It we took a few loop-de-loops, a few explosions along the way.
poofing your enemies out of existence. I can't. All right, maybe a two. I'll give him a two. A
You sure?
one is like, yeah, because I did like where they ended up.
Okay, I was thinking two.
I'll give you a two.
Okay, entertainment value.
Three. It was like, honestly, it's either a five or it's a one, and that's averaging out to a three for me.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I'll go three
You
also.
know, either I'm lolling and having such a great time or I'm skimming the pages. Those are the only options.
That feels right. Okay, other miscellaneous. Anything else we haven't hit yet?
I think I hit all of it. I think I'm just going to give overall a three,
All right.
just for my
Um,
general sentiment of the book.
yeah. I haven't really hit the writing too long part yet.
Yeah,
Um, what about 2.5?
2.5. Yeah.
I feel like that feels about right.
All right.
All right. What do you think our average rating is between the two of us?
Three and a half.
A little lower,
Three?
but 3.125. That feels about right.
Yeah.
3.5, I think would have felt a little high for me.
Yeah. We
Sorry,
haven't
guy
seen these
56.
depths. I know. Sorry, Defy Gravity slash Guy 56,
I
Guy
know.
35.
Whoever you are, probably unfollowed our pod.
Don't ever recommend a book again. No, just kidding. Just kidding. You can
Yeah,
recommend a book.
doesn't mean we'll read it. Okay, I do want to know though, because this was published so recently. This was published September 10th. Had he even read it at that point?
No, no.
Because
He just saw that it was published and he wanted us to read it.
he didn't even know. Well, he published it on he okay, so this guy commented on 9/16. So he could have possibly read it. It would have been like right away though. He doesn't say that
Yeah.
he loved the book though. He doesn't say anything about that. He was just waiting for our audiobook version. Here we are. So, all right. Well, there you go. Do you want to go through a few read it like Reddit comments?
Sure. All
Okay.
right.
What were some that did you have any ones that stuck out to you?
Um,
Or I can just read mine.
someone someone was wondering why did they have to hide David from the inspector? Because they already knew about him.
Good point.
And I was like, I don't know. Unanswered.
Just another question that went unanswered. Okay. All right, on the positive side of things, this was I think this was good to read this view of things because I'm like, okay, this TJ hit his mark on some of his things. So this was on Goodreads on the 5-star reviews. Someone said one of David's caregivers, Byron, prior to Arthur and Linus, uses they them pronouns. As someone who is non-binary and uses they them pronouns, it meant a lot to me.
Oh,
And
that's
so
nice.
yeah, and so there are some people who are like, I really felt seen with this book. Oh, there is a good number of people who said something like, this healed a piece of my broken heart from the election. So there's a lot of people who,
Oh,
after the election, they were like, I was really getting worried, but this book really brought me a lot of hope. Um, the most I hope for is that the author is right, that we have the right to hope that our citizenship will be defended and allowed to live in peace with the full authority to exist as we are.
yeah. I mean,
So I
I
think he
can.
did hit his mark for lots of people.
Right. And we said this from the beginning is that the whole point of this book was to basically be like a love letter to the
Mm-hmm.
LGBTQ community and let them know, like, I see you, like, I support you. There are people out here who, love you just how you are. And so if you're feeling attacked, I could see how this book would just feel so like a big warm hug.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I could see that. So I think he gets that. Yeah, this was another one too, kind of on the similar theme. But he says, I also love how Arthur talks with his kids. It's not necessarily realistic, but more of what we as LGBT plus people would have wanted to hear growing up from our parents or caregivers. Seems to be an attempt to heal our wounds from childhood or teach readers how to reparent themselves. I thought that was interesting. I'm like,
Oh,
that
yeah.
I could see his very detailed philosophy spelled out being a kind of, reparenting moment.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
I could see that. So those were the 5 stars.
I saw a read it like Reddit that basically said that Marblemaw was a rip on Professor Umbridge from Harry Potter with like the
Uh-huh.
demerits.
Oh, okay.
And they said that he did a lot of telling and not a lot of showing, which I would agree with that.
I too would. Yeah, there's a lot about it being one dimensional, no plot and just lessons. Um, oh, this one was interesting. This was on Reddit, and they say, I have to say, I saw someone on Goodreads criticize Clune for dedicating the book to trans kids and putting no trans characters in the story. I thought for sure there would be a trans character and assumed it would be David since his intro had a wig after I saw the dedication, but it never happened.
Well, I feel like
Interesting.
with Fee and with David, a lot of like that, we don't know if it's the right word, gender bender type of thing. I feel like that was the homage.
Mm, yeah, maybe. I mean, it did feel like that's kind of subtle.
Yeah,
Like I get their point, but also this was my confusion in the beginning where I'm like, what do the magical people represent? How literal is all of this? But then it
I
got
know.
very literal because you all these other issues came up in the story, like racism and misogyny, and I was like, what?
I know. This literally seems like the worst
So
place on earth.
I think he was writing our world. I was like,
Well, and
okay.
maybe that's it. Maybe where I live is the worst place on earth.
Yeah.
I'm already living
Don't you
it.
wish you were here? I
Yeah.
know. They didn't need this book. Okay, this one is kind of similar to what we've said too. They said his previous books have always been beautiful in their inclusivity, and it was what set him apart from other authors for me. But this was so forced. It felt like Clune took any opportunity to shoehorn the diversity in when I just didn't feel it was necessary.
Yeah. I read somewhere, um, I read somewhere that they they posited that because TJ had gotten like some criticism on his first book we had talked about in terms of like
Yes,
lifting the story from kind of like a racist background and then
that's right.
repurposing it, that they felt he put in all of the like race themes to try to like, I don't know, undo past wrongs.
I saw that too of him say like, no, really, I don't think those things. I'm sorry if it came
Yeah.
across like that. Let me for
Yeah.
sure tell you now. I did see that comment. Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe
Yeah. So I saw that and I was like, hmm.
that could be. Okay, I have two more that were interesting. This one was about J.K. Rowling, and they said, secondly, how is being an anti not being hateful? Love is louder than hate, except when the person really deserves it. Is that really what Clune wants his legacy to be? We should try to change hearts and minds, but not J.K. Rowling's. She doesn't deserve it. She's too far gone. If we're not trying to illuminate the darkest hearts, then what are we doing? Who are we convincing if we're rebuking those we've decided aren't worth it?
Yeah. And
Mm-mm.
that's, I think we talked about that with like
Yeah,
Marblemaw. It's like you could have flipped her,
disappearing.
but yeah, you poofed her away. Okay.
Yeah, I know. So, okay. Okay, and then this was the last one where I thought this was really interesting. I hadn't thought about this. Um, let me. They talked about how he was writing like he was on the internet. Oh, millennial writing.
Uh,
That's what they called it. They said
like a blog
references.
post?
They let me see. Um, oh, okay. They said there are a few hallmarks of millennial writing, some of those being references and meme language. So their line was, "My father took a switch upside my rear when I stepped out of line, and I turned out just fine." And then the person said, "Boomers don't talk like this. Their traumatized children say they do to succinctly encompass their parents' generational trauma." So it's like people wouldn't actually say that, but it's like
Oh,
a joke.
meh. I took that
It's
as like the cozy reading.
It's kind of funny. Yeah, I kind of got that too. But the this line, I was like, yeah, I kind of felt similarly. He said the line he pulled was the new ice cream parlor owner, the librarians, the guys, gals, non-binary pals from the bookstore and coffee shop. And the person said this just felt over performative. Just say people. You
Oh,
slowed.
I liked that.
You liked that?
I liked it's like because it's like a fun way to say guys, gals, and non-binary pals. It's like a fun
I
like
guess
girls and
that's
guys, and it's like a now
yeah.
you can say it in a way and it has like a rhyme schematic thing to
Okay.
it.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
But I agree. Like people would have been more
Felt a little
succinct and it would have
internet-y.
people would have cut that down by 38%. So, I
I
mean,
sure would have.
there is that.
That's something. That is
That's
something.
something. Yeah.
So, yeah, so there's a lot on there, but those were some of the ones I had pulled.
It kind of seems like when he hits it out of the park. With the people that really liked this, for the people he was writing for, he hit it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not that person and you're reading it like a genuine book and not like a love letter to like heal your past wounds and your traumas, then it doesn't hit as well, is kind of my
Yeah,
take on it.
maybe that's it. Because I mean, there's a lot of people who didn't like the book, but like they agreed with all the messages, but they're like, I just don't. But they
Well,
came
that's
there
what
for
I'm
the
saying.
story. Yeah,
Right,
like you're
exactly.
saying.
If you came
Mm-hmm.
here for the story mid. It's
Yeah,
more of a message with like a light story woven in.
yeah, I think so. I think that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
So, but the overall rating on Goodreads is 4.21, which is pretty high.
With like 90,000
Yeah,
reviews.
93,000 ratings. It
I
was a
think
reader's favorite fantasy.
I, I feel like because because of the type of book it is, the genre it is, and who he's writing to, it's like we said, either you read it and he hits it out of the park with you. I think most of the people who are going to be reading TJ Klune's books are probably the people that he's writing to,
Makes sense.
you know? Like for
Reasonable.
us, yeah, because it's either like a five, a four, or a three. And so it's like the other people, like you and me, where it's like we're not his target audience, but we do enjoy his writing style and we enjoy his stories. We're going to be probably more of a three because we came here for the story
Yeah.
and we got a message instead.
Little switcheroo on us.
Well, because it's like in House on the Cerulean Sea, it was very similar. There was a very clear message he had to say,
That's true. That's true.
but it did not feel like this. It felt more elegantly put
Mm-hmm.
into the story. It felt like
Yeah,
it
more
added to the
natural.
story. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I do even remember, yeah, with that book too, feeling a little bit like, okay. Because
Right.
it got
Like it
repetitive too, I think. But this one just
that
started repetitive. I think that was the difference.
yes. Exactly. That one, yes. They were both like a little too long. I would say the first one maybe 10% too long. Just like a little bit. This one way too long.
Yeah,
So,
I would agree.
yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? All of his books actually, not all of them, but like 4.2, that's pretty in range with his other books.
Yeah.
Cerulean Sea is 4.39.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like his fan base, they love this book. It's great
Yeah.
because he was writing to the people, you know?
Yeah. I wonder too how this rating will go as time passes because this is so soon after the book was released, where I feel like most of the people who read it are probably big Clune fans. Versus as the year goes on and more people are like, oh yeah, that guy, I'll read his book.
I could see that. I feel like with 90,000 reviews,
That is a lot.
that's a lot.
That is a lot. But do you want to know how many Cerulean Sea has?
300,000?
Double. More than double.
Whoa.
It has
600,000?
782,000.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a
I wasn't
lot of
expecting
reviews.
that.
I know, and they
Dang.
averaged 4.4.
I mean, House of Cerulean Sea was really good.
It was, yeah.
Just really nice, sweet story.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Would you give TJ another chance?
Um, with hesitation, I wouldn't be super excited. I don't think. I would read
Yeah.
another one of his books. I wouldn't be super excited. I think this book seemed more like an anomaly out of his other books. Although I did see a comment somewhere where someone was like, "Oh, this book felt like so political and like his opinion was all over it," kind of thing. And someone was
Hmm.
like, "All of his books are like that."
I saw that
I
too,
thought,
but I
"Oh,
I took it more of like Cerulean Sea, where it's like it's there and you notice it, but there's still a really great, nice story going
yeah,
on. So it's just and it adds to it. It's just part of it. It's not, you know,
yeah."
the whole
So,
thing.
mm-hmm. I'd say maybe. I
Yeah.
wouldn't want it on the short list. I think I would need to read a few other books.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is next on our reading list?
Is it Fox's Tongue number 2?
I think so.
Yay. Okay, I think it's called The Skin Stealer's Son, right?
Yes. Skin Stealer Sun. My book should be arriving tomorrow.
Oh,
So
yay.
yeah.
Exciting. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited to read it. Do you think you remembered everybody that was all the
I think
characters?
so. I might have to revisit a
I
little
know, I'm
bit.
a little worried.
I know.
Re-listen to our episodes.
Oof. I know. I might have to. It'd probably be faster than
Study.
trying to read it. Yeah.
I just like,
I mean, whew.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that's it. We're done.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. That
We
was
did it.
House in the Cerulean Sea 2.
hmm Somewhere beyond the sea. Let us know what
Somewhere
you
beyond the
think.
sea.
Do we have a poll for
Yes.
this book?
Should we do flop or not? I don't know. Flip or flop?
Hmm. Flip. Flip is like Shamu when he's happy. We could. It's a little bit of a
We'll think.
negative poll.
I know. I don't want a negative poll. Maybe we can put, should we give TJ another chance? Maybe that's kind of negative too.
Oh, we could say, would you rather have a series about Lucy or about Chauncey?
Ooh, yeah, that's a great one. Yes, so
Yay.
answer our poll. We want to know
Okay,
that.
yeah. Yeah. My vote's Chauncey. Although
Me too.
actually Lucy's pretty cool too.
Lucy would be pretty cool, but I feel like Chauncey would just be all laughs.
Yeah.
No lows, only
No
laughs.
demon coming in, which
Yeah,
could dampen the mood.
right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah. So let us know what you think. Send us an email, bookalicious.pod@gmail.com. Leave a review.
Yeah. Oh yeah, leave us a 5-star review, not like the 3-star we're about to give TJ.
Yeah. I hope you don't have a actual categorized way to rate podcasts.
Oh
Just
my
give us a
God.
5 indiscriminately.
If you do, I would like to know that. That would be kind of interesting.
Yeah. Let us know which categories you could improve on.
Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Well, I love you.
Love you. Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.